What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another tattoo tour, with this one being 2022's updated version. Now, the last video and the last tattoo tour I did was about 2 to 3 years ago, and since then I have added quite a bit more tattoos to my collection, with each tattoo inching my way closer and closer every time to that end goal of that full bodysuit that I am just striving so hard to get. Now, I will not be talking about or going much into depth in terms of the tattoos on my arms, the sleeves that I have, or the chest or rib piece that I have, because those tattoos I've already talked about in that last tattoo tour. And I definitely recommend you guys go watch that video to see where my mindset was at, the meaning behind those tattoos, because they were super meaningful in terms of why I got them. These tattoos in today's video don't follow that same kind of path, so you can definitely see where my mindset and my journey has kind of changed in terms of path and route. And also you can see how bad I was in terms of talking to the camera and how much better I've gotten since. Now, I want you guys to do me a favor, and that is one, go ahead and give the video a big thumbs up, because your boy has COVID and I am pushing through right now to film this for you. Also, it does help me out in terms of pushing this video to a whole brand new audience, so I can show my artwork off to the whole world and show them what tattoos can actually be in terms of artwork. But also, go ahead in the comments section and let me know what your favorite tattoo is. If you have been a follower for a while now, you know my tattoos, then go ahead and just write it right away and let me know. And if you are new here watching this for the first time, watch the whole video, and after listening and seeing the tattoos, let me know which one is your favorite and why. I would love to hear your opinions and see which tattoo wins it all, or maybe if we have a kind of a common ground in terms of all of them being a favorite amongst people. So, since my last tattoo tour, there have been a couple things that I have changed, added, or done differently since that last video. Now, the first thing is I have changed and went with a new artist. This artist being Brandon, or how he goes by is B-Scopes. Absolutely amazing artist. He is a home-based artist, which makes it great for me because now I'm able to get tattoos at a very consistent basis. The next thing that I have changed is the style. I used to go for that very typical type of realism, that lighter shading. Now I go for that darker realism, high detail, high saturation, just totally different vibe to it, totally different feel, very impactful and very unique and very different. The next thing that I've added and changed is my whole leg. I've got a whole new leg sleeve, full sleeve, and I just absolutely love it. And with that, I've got a couple other areas done as well, so a lot more tattoos that have been added into the collection since that last video. And in all that, a lot of time, money, sweat, tears have been put into this journey. Now, I will have cards pop up for each tattoo that I talk about, so you guys can go ahead and click on them and watch the vlog, see the mindset, see where my headspace was at getting the tattoo. But more importantly, you can see the tattoo really come to life and come to be, and my whole journey just come and piece together as those tattoos get added into each one. So the first tattoo that I got for you guys is my sarcophagus with the Great Pyramids under it. Now, if you look at me, you can probably tell I have a thing for ancient cultures with the Romans, the Greeks, and I wanted to have something that also resembled one of my favorite ancient cultures, and that is the ancient Egyptians. I absolutely love them. I love what they resembled, what they were able to do, the impact that they had on the world, where it still stands today in its living glory of the Great Pyramids. Just absolutely love it. But also, I want to have something that resembled me and my dad, because we always talk about the ancient Egyptians and what they were able to achieve and all that. And we also made a promise to each other that one day we would go to Egypt and see the pyramids and see all the artifacts and all that that came from that historic time. So I just wanted to have something that resembled that on my leg, and I didn't think of any better way to kind of get a sarcophagus and the pyramids, something that you kind of think of right away when you think about ancient Egyptian culture. Now, this piece took about 2 days to do, with back-to-back days totaling about 24 hours of being at the shop, about 18 hours or so under the needle. It was pretty painful from what I remember, but mostly because it was lying on my side and having to use bounty rolls to kind of disperse the weight so it wasn't as painful and getting as numb. So that was one thing I kind of remember more than anything. But what I do take away now looking back is this is a piece that really made me gain trust in my artist, and that was Brandon. I remember talking to him, this is before me and him kind of had an understanding of who each person was. I told him I wanted to do a different kind of look. I wanted that sarcophagus to kind of have more stone look. And he's like, listen, I can do that, but I think we do a much better piece if we did this piece, because there's much more detail and it kind of resembles my style a lot better. And I was a little hesitant at first, but I ended up going with him. I trusted him, And I am so glad and thankful that I did and let him do his thing, because now I know where we stand and I just trust him so much more in terms of his judgment. I let him do whatever he needs to because he's the artist, he's the professional, and I go to him because I know he can do the job. So the next tattoo I got is a fan favorite. Everybody seems to love this, and for good reason. It is an amazing piece that Brandon absolutely killed, and that is my Anubis tattoo. Now the reason why I got this was for a couple of reasons. Obviously I wanted to keep to that ancient Egyptian theme and continue with that, but I want to change things up a bit and do a little thing, you know, a little bit differently. Obviously, like I said, when you think about ancient Egyptian culture, you think about the sarcophagus, pyramids, and all that, but also you think about their gods. They used to worship so many different ones, and with one in particular that I loved was Anubis. He is the god of the dead, mummification, and I just really want to have him on my lace sleeve. I love this picture. I love the way it looked. It was just so mean, so different and dark. I just thought it would fit perfectly into what I had already. It has got the head of a jackal, the body of a muscular male, and the ancient Egyptians always believed and always saw jackals running around the cemeteries and believed that these were the protectors of the dead. And because I already had a sarcophagus and the pyramids on my leg, I felt adding Anubis on the other side and kind of watching over that just fit in perfectly. Now this piece was back-to-back days as well. I think this one took a little bit longer, with being about 20 or so hours under the needle in total. But my biggest takeaway from this piece and why I think it is actually my favorite is not because of obviously how well it's done. It's from what I realized from me getting this piece and not really caring what others thought about me or perceived me in a way, because I was very scared people would perceive me in a different way because this is such an evil, mean looking piece. But after I got it, I realized how much I loved it and how much I really don't care what others think about me. And ever since then, I have been getting tattoos for me and me only, and I don't really care what anybody else has to say. So the next tattoo that I got for you guys is my out of this world astronaut. As you guys can see, I'm starting to name my tattoos now. Now this piece, the reason why I got it, I kind of want to have something that resembled and represented our current day and present accomplishment, and that being kind of going to space. It still kind of blends in with the ancient Egyptians because they were so good at understanding space, stars, and all that. So kind of had a good blend into both, but I want to kind of change it up a bit, and I want to add that shattered glass effect for just added effect. Test Brandon's capability because he hadn't done anything like that before, and then add that skull in there because I'd rather have that than like somebody's face or anything like that. Also kind of resembles death of the ancient past and all of that. But more than anything, what makes this piece unique and different is that that skull you see there is a real human skull that I've actually held in my hand myself. Brandon has this skull at the shop. It is a real human skull. I don't know how this is legal to own, but apparently you can do it. And this is the first time you ever use this type of skull in a tattoo. So this was the only tattoo at the time, and I still think to date is the only one that uses this real human skull that I've held in my hand as a reference photo. So it just makes the tattoo more unique, more different, and overall just awesome in my eyes. Now this piece was done back-to-back days as well, when realistically it should have been done in 3 days. The first day we were there for about 14 hours with about 10.5 hours of actual being tattooed. The second day though is where I get everybody with, and that is I was actually there for about, I would say, 20 hours or so. I got there at noon and we didn't leave about 7 a.m. the next morning with about 16 hours of actual tattooing. Absolutely boggling when you think about it. I can't believe I did it when I think about it and look back at it to this day. Now the next tattoo I got is a lot of people's favorites as well. It's mine and I think Brandon's as well, and that is the alien tattoo that I have cupping that DNA strand. I call this piece Humanity's Destiny. The reason why I got this piece was for a couple of reasons. I actually got this by luck and chance. I didn't really know what to put there, but we were talking about it when we were getting the astronaut done, and we realized how well an alien could fit into the theme and whatever I have going on my leg. Obviously we have the ancient Egyptians representing the past, we have the astronaut representing the present, and now the alien can represent kind of the future. And when I look at the aliens, I don't think of them being like these supernatural kind of beings. I look at them being humanity and humans eventually evolving into what they are. So that's why I kind of want to get this alien piece and kind of have him kind of cupping that DNA strand, kind of holding humanity and everything that they've done in its palm. And that's why I call this piece Humanity's Destiny. And also it works out well because, you know, there is that superstition that aliens helped out the ancient Egyptians in terms of building the pyramids and all that. So it kind of fits into a different theme as well. Now with this tattoo, this was done in back-to-back sessions when in reality it should have been done in about 3 days, like the astronaut tattoo. The first day was about 10.5 hours, and then the second day we did the unthinkable again. We got there at noon and we left at about 7 a.m., 8 a.m. the next morning We did it. I don't know how we did it. And to actually say this is my longest tattoo session to date, with it just beating out the Astronaut by I think like half an hour or so. But this now holds the record, and I was able to do that sitting of 16 hours twice. I don't know how I did it, but I did it. So now the next tattoo to add into all this is my hand tattoo. Now this is a tattoo that felt like took forever to get and felt like God didn't want me to get. This tattoo really has no meaning aside from the fact that I really just wanted to get a hand tattoo. Now I really wanted to get something that kind of kept with the theme that I was going for of my left arm, with like a religious commemorative type theme. And I gave Brandon a couple ideas. I pitched a couple ideas to him, and I said, whatever you feel will look best and fit best to what I have, you decide and you choose. And it seems that he chose right. He went with the Rose Cathedral, and it kind of worked out great because I already have one there too, so it kind of complements one another and the whole sleeve and what I have going. Now I did decide to go down a little further than the knuckles and what most people do, and a lot of people will say it looks like kind of like a gym glove, and yeah, it did take some getting used to kind of get used to this look. But I absolutely love it, and I did it for a couple reasons. I want to see less skin, I want to use as much space as we could, and I also want to feel the pain and see how the knuckles and all that area and the webbing felt as well. I'm kind of weird like that. I like to know and experience the pain to kind of bring to you guys and tell you how it feels as well. Now this took about 1 day in total to do, but there has been a couple touch-ups, and you will need a couple touch-ups if you plan to get a hand tattoo, especially in the knuckle area. But as you can see now, it looks awesome, it looks dark, and it looks great in terms of complementing the sleeve that I have already. Now this next tattoo is a dumb stupid tattoo that I kind of got on a whim, and that is my my lip tattoo that says SAD. Now SAD doesn't mean what you think it does. It's actually an acronym and stands for something totally different. It means suck a dick. Now I know you're looking at me thinking, why the hell would you get that? Why would somebody want to get that word in their mouth? And it's kind of a saying that I say to people that say stupid, hurtful, or mean comments to me. I usually write that back to them, and they just don't know what I mean. They think I'm actually sad by what they say, when in reality, it's my way of telling you to kind of go F yourself. So usually YouTube allows this without me kind of having to swear at you or tell you off in any way. And usually it's me getting the last laugh in some way. This tattoo did not hurt at all. It was free. It was about 5 minutes when we were doing another tattoo. I just said, let's just do something dumb and stupid, and we kind of just did it. It was a fun moment. It was a stupid moment. I believe everybody should have at least 1 or 2 stupid tattoos. It's hidden. You won't see it. And the hardest part about this tattoo was holding my lip down before it slipped out. And that was the hardest part about this. Let me know what you guys think of this tattoo. I'd love to hear your opinion on this one. So a tattoo that doesn't make the cut for this tattoo tour is my back tattoo. But good news for you guys, the first 2 sessions will be dropping next week. So definitely make sure you are here for that. And also, if you guys are here and have been following my channel for a while, you guys know that I do tend to get a tattoo and now hold off for a while before releasing it. And it's not because I'm trying to not show you it or keep it a secret. It's just because I'm trying to, build a little bit more of an excitement up for it before, releasing it. And also, I'll try to space out tattoos throughout the year instead of dropping a whole bunch of them in one time span and then having a big draw. But I have been listening to you guys, and you guys have been saying, to try to drop them a bit faster. So I will be doing that. So after I drop my back tattoo and all its glory, I will then be dropping my foot tattoo as well. Now for the foot tattoo, I'm not going to be talking too much about it. It will be in a future tattoo tour as well. But I will give you a couple hints as well into it. And it does follow that theme of the lower leg that I have been talking about. So there is something in that theme that you probably think of a lot of when you think about ancient Egyptians. Think about one other thing that a lot of you think about as well, and it's probably on the foot. Now you probably have noticed that I have not mentioned any pricing to go along with these tattoos. And there is a reason why I have done that, and it is because I am not trying to focus anymore really on the pricing of the tattoos. I want you guys to kind of focus on the quality. I always say pricing is second to quality. Quality should always be first, and I want you guys to really just, look at the tattoo for itself and not think about the price that went into it. Now, I have spent nearly, I would say, 50 to 60K in tattoos by now from what I have already on me. And I have much more money being spent coming very soon with all the other stuff that I need to do with still going on my back. Other areas to come very soon that I won't mention is doing my whole ass. I plan to do my other hand as well. That was a guarantee. and I might be doing something in this region as well. So there is going to be more money being spent soon in those areas, and I will probably reach 70 by the end of the year if I keep going at the route I am. And if this channel keeps doing as good as it does, and if you guys keep supporting the way you do, sharing, watching, liking, and all that, these tattoos are just going to be coming at a much faster pace. So I want you guys to continue that support by going ahead and subscribing if you guys are not, liking the video so it can be pushed out to a whole new audience and they can see my work, see my art, so it can inspire, motivate others to know that tattoos can be more than what they think of. And then finally, make sure that you are here for next week when I drop the first 2 sessions of my back piece, and you can see what I am going for and see how unique, how different, and how striking this back piece is going to be. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Like always, Justin out. Later, guys.